Okay, this is my how-to video on some of my long-distance running gear and apparel for getting ready for a marathon. I'll first start with just kind of a review of the shorts that I happen to run in. They're made by Race Ready. They have a small little reflective patch on the back. These are the Race Ready LD, which stands for long distance. As you can tell just in the length here, they're a little bit longer than your typical running short. This particular brand here is Nike, and I've got that featured. I train in those most of the time. I'll go back over here to the Race Ready and give you a sense of those. As you can see on the inside, they have a very thin, very smooth, particularly with the stitch work that keeps the chafing down, inner jock that's sewn into those out of polypropylene. I do find these to be my favorite pair. They've got a little more bagginess to the shorts, but it's very thin material, and as part of that it's got 4 pockets, one here, then it's got a longer pocket that's actually flexible that will hold sunglasses that I typically keep here, and then these two will keep my goo packets. On the front, go ahead and turn those over. On the front here, they do have 2 small hip pockets right here. On the side, this is the right-hand side reflective name brand piece here, and then on this side without the reflective piece, but does have Velcro down. That's good for like a single key or a very small iPod shuffle or what have you that sits on your hips. So those by far are my favorite pair. I do happen to like blue. They are very visible. You can see that here from the rest of my gear. I do run in fairly bright colors just so that I can be seen in traffic. The Nike here as well, I do enjoy. I do happen to think that the inner jock that they have is actually smoother, even a better weave than what Race Ready has. So I prefer those for the inside. They do happen to be a little bit shorter on the length. Both of them have splits here right on the inseam, or excuse me, on the outer seam of the leg, which I really prefer as well. In terms of the shoes, this is a pair that I run in. These are Asics Cumulus. I believe they are model, goodness, they're size 12, but I believe these are Asics Cumulus 12 in terms of the model. I do happen to like these. They have a very good forefoot cushioning that you can see here, right along this area, and a very good forefoot cushioning in the heel. Again, those are Cumulus 12. They're a neutral shoe. And I really happen to like to train and race in this particular model. This is about my 4th pair. They do have fairly good arch support. I have very high arches, and so they've got a fairly rigid plastic piece that gives me good arch support. Additionally, I do get my shirts. Again, these are just training shirts that are almost disposable from Walmart. They're about 10 bucks. As part of that as well, I do usually, sometimes in daylight, definitely in the dark, I run in, this is an Ironman reflective vest. It rests over the shoulders like so, and as you can see, look here, this gets a little shaky on the video here. As you can see, they've got small elastic pieces here that actually come over and Velcro right along the side like so. So it just rests over you. I find that that's super helpful not only in the dark but in the day, just for visibility's sake. Sometimes, I don't know that I do them very often, I'll wear these. These are made by Brooks. Not only do they glow, but they have a lot of reflective in those, and those can be worn here on the wrists or around your ankles. Additionally, I do run with the Garmin 305. It helps track just about everything. The only thing I don't have turned on, though it could be activated, is a heart rate monitor. But it does give me a sense of my current pace, my overall pace, the pitch of the road, and a really good just training tips. I am able to connect that to the internet and upload all my data from the Garmin straight up to mapmyrun.com and other sites like that. Following a marathon, this particular one is the top of Utah. That's a Nordic Trek sponsored. Great race. That's the tech shirt that I was given at the closure of the race, one of my nicer shirts. I like to train in that, not a whole lot as it's one of my nicer shirts, but I do run in that as it's bright and very visible. I do prefer running in visors as well. These are pretty cheap. You can get these for about 10 bucks, and just keeps the sun from beating down on your head. And because there's, unlike a hat, because there's no cover, I'm still able to get a lot of ventilation on the head to keep the body salts and the electrolytes within my body rather than just perspiring those. I run in 2 or 3 different kinds of socks. This one is a blend of materials. The ones I happen to be wearing here at the moment actually are my favorite. They're Power Socks. I picked these up at Big 5. A bulk of those are spandex and nylon. They dry very quickly. They're very smooth on the feet. Obviously there's no cotton in those. They're a low profile sock. Very enjoyable. This is an old pair too. I actually just kick around in these of retired running shoes. And there's not a whole lot of stress here in the EVA cushioning, but typically when the shoe really wears, you'll start to see some stress creases here that go along the sides that give pretty good indication that the shoe's shot and that the cushioning is no longer providing the kind of support that you'd need. And this is just a pair that, as you can tell, just from eyes glance, looks like the shoe is fine, but there's no question that these, which obviously happen to be a lot wider, that the cushioning, if you look, this is actually the same model shoe. If you look at the thickness here on this shoe versus this shoe, both the same Cumulus, Asics Gel Cumulus, same model. Or actually, one's model 11, one's 12, but very little difference in the shoe overall. But clearly, this cushioning has been broken down just from the pounding, particularly up in here, where most of the abuse has happened. I retired these shoes a little bit early, but I really don't want to risk injury and cartilage bruising. So outside of that, that's a bulk of what I have in terms of what I run in, and hope this tutorial's been helpful in terms of just giving you an overview of the gear and what I run in and how to get ready.